everybody, and welcome to this quick video demonstration where we are gonna go through the new marketplace functionalities, which will be called the marketplace add-ons. For those of you who haven't read already, marketplace add-ons is a functionality that is one of the first things ever seen in an NFT marketplace kind of industry. So it basically allows the NFT collection owners, artists, and developers to come up with new and interesting methods of handling the payment without us having to redeploy our whole infrastructure. So previously, when you wanted to, for example, basically the only thing that you were able to do was to have a royalties. So the royalties would be able to be sent to an address or a contract, and that was basically all you could do. Now, what Quark here brings to the scene is a marketplace add-on, which is basically a standalone contract which is deployed alongside the collection, which can be registered as of linked or tied to our marketplace contract. And basically, it allows user to implement custom logic on buying and selling on NFTs. So, for example, to quickly go over the contract here, we have a few aspects which need to be defined. First of all, is this Quark token variable here, which obviously needs to be implemented in the constructor. We have this event, which is not necessary, but it will be provided in this dummy marketplace add-on variant. The first, there's an internal function which you can skip it, we just put it for convenience. The most two important functions is process item LV and process item Quark. Basically, these two functions are called whether an NFT is sold, whether it is through a bid or through a normal sale. These functions, if the collection has an an add-on tied to it, then these two functions are called, and the normal marketplace logic is skipped. For example, if you put an item for sale and I want to buy it, but your collection implements some mechanism. For example, the price of the item, the resale, for example, maybe 10% gets burned, 10% goes to some treasury of yours, and 10% gets split to your holders. For example, you create this add-on contract, which I'm gonna show here, and then basically we, the Quark team, we link it to the marketplace. So then the marketplace, when me, the user, the buyer, buys the item, the marketplace detects that it has an add-on registered, and instead of following the normal logic, it follows the process item LV or process item Quark, depending on whether the sale is made using Quark or LV. So this demo function that we set up here as an example, for example, let's work with LV. First of all, we make a check that the sent amount is the item's price, and then for the demo, we just split this amount in half, send half of it to address 0, which is the dead address. Once again, you do not need to do this. This is just a sample implementation. Here you would introduce the logic that I just spoke about earlier. And then we send the rest to the seller. We emit the event and then we return true. The same goes with the process item Quark. It happens just the same, just that if you need to implement Quark payment, instead of using the send Ethereum function, you just call the transfer function on the token and do your logic. It's actually pretty simple to use. We made it so that you don't have to spend much time and effort while building these add-ons. We want to remind you that in case you have custom logic on your contract, then we can, but don't either have the developers or the knowledge or the resources to make it yourself. Quark comes in help for this and offers a sort of development service or package where we can build these add-ons for you. So Basically, there's just one important thing. In order the transaction to not fail, the marketplace makes sure that no LV or Quark remains in the contract after the sale is made. For example, if your item costs 100 LV, if you only send, for example, the marketplace sends the 100 LV into the add-ons contract, and from this point, the add-ons contract must consume all of the amount. For example, it should send 90% to the seller and burn 10%, which equals obviously to 100 LV. But if the contract would consume only 90%, for example, 19 LV, the function will fail because the add-ons contract is obligated to consume all the amount left in it. This applies for both LV and Quark. That's pretty much it. That was a brief demonstration about how the new feature of the marketplace add-ons works for the Quark marketplace. So we invite you to share your feedback and to come up with new and interesting ways of dealing with the amount from resales in creative and amazing ways. Thank you for your attention, and bye-bye.